about something. It's a fairly intense topic, lots of controversy behind it. I'm sure that if and when I post this video, I will get mixed reviews from people, because I may sound ignorant at times. Let me start this off. I was just on Facebook, you know, where all drama starts. And I watched this video of this girl. She did poetry. You know, she was not in shape by any means. She was overweight. But, you know, she did this poetry about, you know, fat shaming, and people who would say things to her. And one of the things that she brought up was, you know, she went into, and I don't know if this actually happened to her or if she's just using this as an example, but she went into the doctor's office complaining about pain in her shoulder and her arm. And the first thing the doctor said was, you know, have you considered weight loss? You know, dieting, fitness. And she went on to say, you know, they don't suggest this to skinny people, you know, people in shape. They, you know, they think about arthritis and everything, but when it comes to people who are overweight, the first thing they do is jump to the weight, as if that's the problem. Now, I'm not saying the weight is the problem for that, because I'm not a doctor, but I'm also going to say that if a medical expert suggests that, you might not want, you know, it's ridiculous to make the jump that, oh, this doctor is just fat shaming me. That's not the case. You know, people are getting too sensitive, and, you know, this is an example of a much broader topic, which is the sensitivity, which is an example of an even bigger topic, which I will bring up in a minute. But, you know, people are getting overly sensitive about this. You know, they're getting sick of fat shaming or slut shaming or whatever. And so they're shaming. And I think I'm quoting Bill Burr when I say that. But they're also putting some shame and, you know, on, you know, being healthy and being fit. I actually had somebody say to me at one point, because, you know, I work out and exercise to an extent, you know, oh, you don't need to do that, you should love yourself for who you are. I didn't say I didn't love myself. I didn't say I hated myself in any regard. You know, all I said was that I was working out or whatever. And that's a big thing. A lot of people don't exercise and eat healthy because they hate who they are. They exercise and be healthy because they like that lifestyle. It makes them feel good. I'm not sitting here hating the way my body is and being like, I need to change this immediately. No, I am completely fine with who I am. However, I do see that improvements can be made, and I want to constantly improve myself. And it isn't just a physical thing, it's a mental state as well. You constantly analyze yourself and where you are emotionally, mentally, and you work on yourself. You be honest and true as to whether or not, you know, is this something I like? And honestly, my generation is losing that. You know, they don't want to feel shame, which in a sense is a little necessary. You know, that shame, that regret, you know, that's necessary for growth. You don't grow if you don't see a problem. You don't grow as an individual. You don't become a better person. Isn't that what we should strive to be? We should continue to look to be better, not in hating ourselves to do that, but, you know, just to be better people. I don't know. I don't know if I can ever explain it correctly, but now this is becoming an issue in my generation, and you see it. There's a level of entitlement. People are getting angry at, you know, people who don't have as much as others are getting angry at those other people. Like, why should they have that? You know, the government should give of those people worked hard to get to where they are, and you didn't. You know, they earned that. It's an entitled mentality. You know, but people don't want to own up to their mistakes and own up to their laziness, for lack of a word. Again, this will sound very ignorant, because I have a very crass way of looking at it. I don't have the sophisticated, politically correct way of addressing this. But it's scary, and now people, the government should give more. No, you should work harder. And there are, I'm not saying that, everybody is like this. I'm not saying that every case is just a matter of you need to work harder. Generally speaking, the majority, that's what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to those special cases where, the guy lost both of his legs and knobs so he can't work. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about physically able people who just, don't want to put effort in. I have a friend who I will not name. I should, and shame him, who just complained to me the other day that he only has $400 for the next 2 weeks. I'm sorry, $450 for the next 2 weeks. All of his bills are paid for by somebody else. He has, he doesn't have to worry about any of that. And it's like, why are you complaining about that? And the reason for that is that person is lazy. They work at minimum wage. They're my age, almost, maybe a year younger. Minimum wage, fast food. They don't work towards anything more. And, well, there's a lot of marijuana involved there as well. I don't know if that is a good example, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't know. This thought process I didn't really think this video out before making it, but I'm not big on planning. The point is that you should own up to your mistakes and your faults, and you should improve yourself. You should not, you should not hate yourself. Shaming is not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you make it a bad thing. Sometimes you need that smack to wake you up. It's like hitting the dog in the head with a newspaper. Nobody's hating on you. Nobody hates the dog. It's just you're doing something stupid that you shouldn't be doing. And people are going to speak up about it. It's okay. It's okay to be called out on your faults. You shouldn't be afraid to feel bad about yourself. Not feel bad about yourself. You shouldn't be afraid to I guess the best way to put it was you shouldn't be afraid to feel shame. Back to the whole, shaming thing. But it's just, I don't know, it's been bothering me. It really has been. And it all falls into that super broad topic of this entitled mentality. I didn't really have a word to put to that until somebody pointed it out to me that that's the word, entitled. Thank you for that. You know who you are. And all this stems from a girl doing poetry, and then people applauding it like she's so brave. It's standing up on stage and doing anything is, a terrifying experience. I'll give it that. But you need to be able to differentiate between when people are just trying to be malicious and when people are just trying to help. Nobody was trying, in that doctor scenario, that doctor was not trying to shame that girl and make her feel bad about herself. That was somebody who was, trying to find a solution to her problem that didn't involve medication. lot of hard work. You know, it isn't like, you know, genes are a factor to a point. You know, some people genetically have it easier, but that doesn't mean you can't get to the best shape that you can manage. It doesn't. It comes back to entitlement and respect towards hard work. That's where all of this continues to come back, and as I'm voicing this to my camera, because I have no friends and only talk into a GoPro, it's coming together in my head better and better, more articulated. Now, most people who do these kinds of vlogs will then re-record it. You know, they have a notepad and they go through it. I'm not going to. I'm going to post this exactly as it is. So, you know, I'm not trashing people who genuinely have issues in life, but, you know, there's so many people who are just either lazy or entitled, and I don't know, I don't think it's right. I guess in a sense I'm shaming those people. I will shame laziness and entitlement. And I've got really nothing more to say at this point, so I'm just gonna kill the video feed. By all means, you know, comment all of your hate and anger towards me for being ignorant, because I probably deserve it. Also, I think I just missed my exit. Yep, that was my exit. Alright, I'm gonna go and focus on driving now instead of talking to nobody. You'll hear from me soon with one of my insane vlogs about the actual trip. Till next time.